Hello everyone, Bahroo here, and today I have the next episode of my weapon parts guide. In this series we take a look at the parts that make up the guns in Borderlands 2 and go over their positive and negative effects. I'm very sorry that it has taken this long for me to get the second episode out, however you can expect every future episode to come out every other day from this point on until the series is done. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and go over the shotguns. Now shotguns are made up of 5 different parts. You have the barrel, the grip, the accessory, the stock, and the sight. Much like pistols, sights offer no bonus outside of zoom, so go with whatever you prefer the most. And let's go ahead and go over the first part, which is going to be the barrel. And for our first barrel, we have the TDR barrel. The positive effect is that it does nothing, and the negative effect is that it also does nothing. The TDR barrel literally has no effect when put on a shotgun. Moving on to the next one. Next up we have the next single barrel for the shotguns, and that's going to be the Hyperion barrel. Its positive effect is that it gets increased accuracy, reduces the recoil, and tightens the pellet spread. However, as a downside, it will reduce the weapon damage and it will reduce the magazine size. Moving on to the double barrel, we have the Jacob's barrel. This will give you 1 additional barrel and will increase the pellet count by 5. However, if using Jacob's guns, it will increase the pellet count by 6. However, this comes with some negative effects. It will lower the rate of fire, decrease the accuracy, and decrease the pellet spread. It will also increase the amount of ammo that is consumed to 2 instead of 1. And now for the triple barrel, which is made by Bandit. Its positive effect is that it will get 8 pellet count increase and will also increase your weapon damage. In addition, it will increase your magazine size, but all of the negative effects from the last one will carry over to this one and be increased, which means less accuracy, more recoil, wider pellet spread, and lower rate of fire. And now for the quad barrel made by Torgue. Positive effect remains the same, as that it will increase your pellet count by 11, increase your weapon damage, and increase your magazine size. However, again, all of the negative effects still carry over: reduced recoil, reduced rate of fire, reduced accuracy, and the pellet spread is even worse. However, this is the most powerful attachment to have on your shotgun. Moving on to the E-Tech. This will change your gun into a splat gun and cannot spawn on Jacob's or Torgue weaponry. For Hyperion and TDR, you can only spawn with a single splat. However, if you use Bandit, it can come in ×3, or the slow hand, which is Hyperion, can come in ×3. Overall though, the negative effect is that it becomes a splat gun. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the grips of the shotgun. For this grip, this is the Bandit grip, and as with pistols, matching the grip to the manufacturer that makes it will increase magazine size and reload speed. For example, a Jacob's grip on a Jacobs shotgun would give those effects. However, a Bandit grip on a Jacobs shotgun would not. So let's go ahead and go over the Bandit barrel. This will increase your magazine size, however, it will reduce your reload speed and widen the pellet spread of your shotgun. And now for the TDR grip. Positive effect is that it will increase your reload speed, however will reduce your weapon damage, as well as reducing the magazine size of your shotgun. Next up we have the Hyperion grip. This one will tighten the spread on your shotgun, as well as increasing the recoil recovery. However, as a downside, it will reduce the weapon damage of your shotgun. And now we have the Torgue grip. This one will increase your weapon damage, however, as a downside will increase the recoil, increase the pellet spread, and will reduce the reload speed of the shotgun. And now we have the final grip, which is the Jacob's grip. This will increase your weapon damage, and it will do it to a higher extent than the Torgue grip. However, it will reduce your rate of fire, reduce your reload speed, as well as increasing your recoil. So now that we've gone over the grips, let's go ahead and go over the stock. The stock does not increase any sort of stat that you can see on the card. It doesn't increase damage, fire rate, reload speed, magazine size, or accuracy on the card. However, each stock has their own effect to them. What you're looking at right here is the Hyperion stock, which is considered the best stock that you can put on any of the shotguns because of its increased effects. And this one will increase your accuracy as well as increasing your recoil recovery, which is how long it takes for your shotgun to become accurate again after firing. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the other stocks. And for our next stock, we have the TDR stock. This one will reduce your recoil, however, as a negative effect will also reduce your accuracy. And for our next stock, we have the Bandit stock. It has no positive or negative effects and does nothing for the shotgun in any way, and is considered the worst possible stock that you can get on any shotgun. And now for the next one, we have the Torg stock. This one will reduce the amount of recoil that your shotgun has, however, will increase the recoil recovery, making it take longer before your gun will become accurate again. And finally, we have the Jacob stock. This one will increase your accuracy, however, will also reduce your recoil recovery time and increase the amount of recoil that your shotgun has. So now that we've gone over the stock, let's go ahead and go over the accessories. Now, for all the different accessories, you're going to see a YouTube annotation going over the prefix name for each of the different manufacturers for the specific accessory. For example, for Jacobs, this is called Sidewinder. Now, Sidewinder increases your magazine size and reduces your reload speed. And again, make sure you have your annotations on so that way you can see the different prefixes for the different manufacturers. Moving on to the next one, we have the vertical grip. This will increase your pellet count by 2 as well as increasing the rate of fire of your shotgun. However, as a downside, it will reduce the accuracy and widen the pellet spread. And next up we have the bladed attachment, which is very obvious to see, and it will increase your melee damage by 50%. The melee damage is 50% regardless of what manufacturer it is. Next we have the critical hit attachment. This will increase your shotgun's damage by 50% whenever it hits a critical hit, and it will also tighten the spread of your shotgun. And now for the next attachment, which is just a general boost to all of the stats, which increases your damage, your fire rate, your reload speed, as well as your magazine size. And next up we have the shotgun shell attachment, and this will increase your rate of fire, magazine size, and your reload speed. However, as a downside, will reduce the damage that your shotgun does. And now we have the final prefix, which will increase your rate of fire as well as tightening the spread of your shotgun. However, as a downside, it will reduce the damage that the gun deals. And finally, we have the sights again. Now, I heard your comments, and in the top left you will find an annotation telling you which manufacturer makes each sight. However, since these don't provide any sort of bonus, there's no point in really going over each one individually. So here we go. And there you go, that's going to wrap it up for all the different parts for shotguns in Borderlands 2. As always, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like on the video, show your support for this, and I think I will be going over sniper rifles in the next video. As I said, I'm going to be doing these videos every other day now, so you don't have to worry about when the next episode will be here, because it'll be here 2 days from now. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.